Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay, we're live. I'm Coach Jill Ortiz from Team Beachbody, and I'm home today. My son is upstairs. He's home because Grandma and Grandpa were both sick, and so if there's some interruptions, don't be surprised. He's 3. So today's webinar is all about tweaking your nutrition and your fitness to achieve results, to achieve your goals. And this is huge in what I've been able to achieve in my health and fitness and what I've helped my customers achieve as well. And so take everything you hear and put it into action. I can't tell you how much I say this all the time, okay? 46,000 books on dieting. And the majority of our country is obese and overweight, and the trend just rises, and I just can't figure out why, because we have the information. And you know what it is? It's the accountability. You need that accountability, and we're here. Beachbody coaches are here for you. We're reaching out to you. That's why you might get people who are asking you, hey, do you have a coach? Do you need some help? It's nothing. It's not about sales and making money. It's about reaching out, helping the next person, and getting that trend to turn back around. It's so fulfilling when you see somebody make that change, and you know it's because you were able to help them. And so this is kind of like part 3 of our meal plan and prep group. And if you're just seeing this on YouTube, then I have 2 other videos that precede this one that I need you to go back and watch, because I know you can achieve your goals if you absorb this information and put it into action, right? So first we talked about planning, right? Having a meal plan, creating a plan, no matter what you're using. If Weight Watchers works for you, if our Beachbody portion control containers work for you, if MyFitnessPal works for you, if macros work for you, whatever system works for you, grab a hold of it and use it, and be proactive, not reactive, right? So what kills me is when I see somebody using MyFitnessPal, tracking the foods they eat throughout the day, and then they get back to me and they say, well, I was like 300 calories under today, or wow, I really blew through my calories today and went like 500 over. That does nothing for you. That gives you information of what happened, but if you're not planning ahead, then that does nothing for you, because it already happened and you messed it up, right? So what you need to do, if you want to use MyFitnessPal, use it the way I use it. Use it to look up the foods that you plan to eat, that you put in your meal plan. Set up your day, right, as if you already ate everything, and then eat everything you said you were going to eat. That way you know you've hit your macros. You're not eating too much fat or too much protein. You have a plan. It's a balanced plan, and then you stick to it. And maybe you need the coach to help you see, was your plan well set, right? Was it the right plan for you? So that's planning. And then we have prepping, being prepared for success, right? So you have to make your foods ahead of time so that you're not scrambling and then just saying, screw it, I'm just going to go out to eat, where they're putting extra butter and salt in my food, or grabbing something quick that's not healthy, grabbing some granola bars. Those are like full of sugar, so you got to prep as much as you can, so that when those things happen, when those things come up in life, because they always come up on the daily, the things that you don't expect will come up. You got to be as prepared as you can be, right? So then we eat, we stick to the plan, we do our best. It might not always be 100%, but you're going to do your best, and your best will continue to get you farther and farther. It'll get you going in the right direction. But we need to always go back and review and tweak things that aren't working, right? So I want to talk about this in 2 parts. We have nutrition tweaking, and then we have fitness tweaking, because we know that all the things that play a part in weight loss or changing our physique, we've got our nutrition, we have our, including water, we have our fitness, we have our stress levels, our sleep. All these things play a factor. Plus, perhaps any, illnesses that you have, or conditions, thyroid, diabetes, all that stuff, it's all going to play a part too. So we have to look at it as a whole. Now, if you've been planning and prepping and you have a bad week, in terms of you followed the plan and nothing changed and you didn't see any improvement anyhow, anyway, then we can go back and we can tweak. If you have not done those steps, if you didn't create a plan that you could send me or your coach, then how are we going to know what you did and how are we going to know how to tweak it, right? So you always have to have something to review. I'm constantly reviewing my plan, my daily plan, my weekly plan, my meal plans, constantly going back and evaluating what didn't work. Am I getting no results? Have I hit a plateau? Am I hungry? Am I sluggish? Am I eating, like craving certain foods? Those things we can evaluate. So if you have your plan and you have your log of how you felt, then you can take that to your coach. If you don't know how to review that yourself, then your coach can help you look at that. And I've had a couple people in the last couple days, I looked at their plan immediately, could pick up what was wrong, right? So somebody who's 200 pounds who said that they ate 1,250 calories, that's not enough, right? So their tweak is adding calories. Same for me. I felt sluggish in a workout, a couple workouts, 2 days in a row. I knew I wasn't getting enough. I could tweak that. So you got to go back and review. Are you getting too many calories? Are you getting not enough calories? Are you not changing it up enough? You can't eat the same thing every day forever. Your body's going to get used to it, and you need to shake it up a little bit. You got to do trial and error, right? So if something doesn't work, you change it up and you try again. So what I've been doing, I'm in week 8 of P90X. It's a 12-week Beachbody program. It's, weights and cardio and plyometrics and yoga. It's a great variety. And what I've been doing is I have been creating a weekly plan. And what I do is I follow the nutrition plan that comes with the program, because they're designing the Beachbody programs for your success so that you're fueled properly. So I always follow whatever meal plan comes with that particular program. So with P90X, it's the old school program. So they didn't have the portion control containers that I came to really love and rely on, but it had a macro system where you had to be calculating, the right percentage of fat, carbs, and protein and hit a certain number of calories, which for me was 1,800. And, so what I did was I thought it would be best for me to create a weekly plan. And because I needed to search through MyFitnessPal, find the right calories, the right macros, proportions, and I wrote them all down. I created my plan. I don't want to be doing that all the time. So for me, it was easiest to do that for an entire week and eat the same thing every day for a week. I figured that way I could go back, review how I felt, review what happened on the scale, review what happened when I was working out. Was I getting the right amount of foods around in the day to make sure that I felt satisfied and that it worked with my schedule. So many factors, but the fact that I was able to put it on paper and plan it out made such a huge difference, because I could easily look at that plan and see what happened. So I have in an Excel spreadsheet, I have every single week laid out on a separate tab, and I would review at the end of my week. So my weeks go from Monday through Sunday, and on Saturday I create my new meal plan for the next week. On Sunday I do my food shopping, and I do all my prep, and then on Monday I just start eating. And so from week to week, a few things that I found was that at first, I was still craving chocolate at night, which has been a big issue for me, like my whole life, just craving chocolate all the time. And so I always have my recover shake, my post-workout shake is chocolate. I always have that first thing in the morning right after my workout. It makes me happy, drinking chocolate in the morning, right? And that's from the Beachbody Performance line. That worked out really well. My Shakeology, I moved all around during the last 8 weeks to see where it fit best. And here's what I found is I was craving chocolate after dinner all the time. So I moved my shake to after dinner. I had a smaller dinner a little earlier, and then at like 7, I would have my shake. The only thing was that that didn't work for me because my body was looking for those nutrients from like when I had that first recover shake in the morning throughout the rest of the day. And so the rest of the day I was like looking for different things to satisfy that craving for all the nutrients that my shake gives me. So that didn't work all that great, having my shake late in the day. I tried putting it earlier in the morning, but the double dose of chocolate I didn't really need, and I still kind of wanted it later in the day. I tried putting it at 3 or 4 o'clock, which was great for me because it was when my son was getting off the bus. I'd always be grabbing him a snack, and I was kind of like a little tired with, with my work day, being behind the computer all day. And so that worked really well. And this past week, well, not this week, but last week, I put it at noontime for my lunch. And I found that that worked best for me because I was getting all the nutrients in Shakeology, amazing amount of nutrients, getting it at noon. So I had it the rest of the day. I wasn't craving. And not only that, but it worked really well for my work schedule because I could just work straight through. It took me 2 minutes to make, as opposed to a salad where I do a lot of chopping. And it took me just 2 minutes to make my shake. And I could drink it and feel full and satisfied and continue on with my day without a lot of interruption. So I found that that really worked well for me. This week, I've been having it because I'm doing a vegan meal plan, changing it up. And so it worked really well for me at 3 o'clock this week, given that I had a lot of fruit early in the day with a lot of sugar in it. And so I didn't need that sweet until later on in the day. And I've been really satisfied this week. So, again, the vegan meal plan, a total change up. This is a recovery week for me in P90X. And so I wanted to give it something totally different. And where I'd been gaining slightly in my other meal plans, this week I had already lost 3 pounds by yesterday. And I think I stayed about the same today. And so I know that the vegan food, it makes me slim down. It makes me lose weight. So it's so neat when you can kind of like do the trial and error and you can experiment with different things and see what works for you, what works in your schedule, what works timing wise, what makes you full, what makes you happy, and just keep on trying different things, right? So another thing, like when you're plateauing, I've heard people say, I've been doing the 21-day fix, which is another one of our Beachbody programs, and following the container system, and I'm not seeing any results anymore. Well, there's a few ways we can tweak that, and I have a whole video on plateauing in the 21-day fix. But one thing is, that for each of your color-coded containers, there's a certain list of foods that can go in that container. Here he is. Hi, babe.
I want lemonade.
You want lemonade? Okay, I'll be up in a second. You got chocolate. Look at this one in the chocolate. Lick that chocolate off your face, babe. There, I think we got it. So you have your food list for each container for the 21-day fix. And the best thing to do is to try and eat the foods highest up on the list. Oh, you're saying hi? Highest up on the list. Those are the most nutritious foods, and they're the ones that Beachbody recommends you stick to for best results. So that's one thing. Another thing, let's see, we can try adding calories, right? So if you feel like maybe you're not in the right bracket, you could change brackets and go up a little higher or lower. Okay, hold on. Another thing that one of our coaches found this week was that when she actually threw in a little cheat day, that shook up her whole system and she ended up losing weight where she had been kind of plateauing for a little bit. So many things that you can do. All right, let's move on to fitness. So fitness-wise, you can't do the same thing forever and expect new results, right? That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you're the person who gets on the elliptical for 30 minutes every day for your entire life, you're not going to see change, right? So what you need to do is, if you're doing Beachbody programs, then you've got to keep changing it up. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds of the 21-day fix or of any program, move on to something different. And what's really neat, what I found, was that I've been doing different programs one after another from start to finish, following the calendars for the last 2 years. And I do a different program every time, with the exception of Core de Force, because I loved it so much I had to do another round. But I see how different programs affect my body. So Body Beast is major weightlifting, right? Very little cardio. And you have to eat a lot of food, because to gain muscle, you have to eat the calories. And so I found that I was bulking up, but I also had this thick layer of padding over me. I found that with programs like T25, it was so much cardio that I was starving at the end of it, and I couldn't stick to my meal plan. I was just eating like I was so ravenous. So that super duper cardio program is not for me. Some, like the ones that were most effective for me, Hammer and Chisel, which is not a ton of cardio, but it's got lifting, which gets your heart rate up, and 22-minute hardcore. Only 22 minutes a day. It was crazy. I mean, to only work out for 22 minutes and get the results that I got in that, I think it was because it wasn't over intense, but it was still, working my body, and I could stick to my meal plan because I wasn't like ravenous at the end. Another one, the Ultimate Reset. It was a 21-day vegan cleanse. And that I learned so much about myself, because I eliminated a lot of foods. I introduced a lot of new foods. You have to be very mindful of when you're eating and what you're eating and how much. And just gaining that perspective on how foods really affected my body, that really helped. There was foods that I did not reintroduce back into my diet after doing the Ultimate Reset. Which again is a 21-day vegan cleanse. So, again, it's all about what works for you, time-wise, style. Maybe dance is for you. Maybe that's going to work best for you. Something that's not a bunch of weights, and bulking you up. Hold on, babe, I'll be right up. Oh, okay. Somebody needs his hiney wiped. All right, I think this is over. Sorry, guys. So I got to run upstairs, and so, what I do is I help my customers figure all these things out. We check in regularly, and we have accountability groups where we can learn from each other, bounce things off each other, and it's just so fun. And so if you want to get involved, my next challenge group is called the Biggest Loser Buddies, starts March 26th. If you missed that one, if you're watching this after this happens, then I have 2 groups like this a month, a free group like this one, purely informational, and also a challenge group where we can put this stuff into practice. So give me a shout, ask me any questions. I got to go. I got a kid who needs me. All right, see y'all.